Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
It's a great day. I'm Mark Imperial. For the past 7 years, I've scoured the globe looking for noteworthy experts, businesses, people, places, and things. On this special edition of the show, we'll meet some of the world's leading professionals in health, nutrition, and fitness, people from all across the country, around the world, and in your town. Welcome to the program. I know you're going to enjoy it. On this segment, my guest is Victoria Boa Lynn from Boxing on Adrenaline Training Systems out of Battle Creek, Michigan. Victoria, welcome to the program.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me.
So give us a brief summary. Tell us about Boxing on Adrenaline Training Systems and specifically who it's for.
Well, it was kind of created. I've been a fitness instructor for over 20 years, and I'm from Las Vegas, and I did a host of things there. I learned boxing there with Roger Mayweather and learned how to kickbox from Tom Dieters, and he's now in California. And once I moved to Michigan, there wasn't the intensity here that I was used to out west. So I just kind of put together my program, and it took years to really build up a following. But I also have severe scoliosis, and it's so bad that surgeons want to do surgery to fix it, or at least fix the collapsed disc and just a host of things that my MRI shows. But they have no idea how I do what I do. They say it's physically impossible, but clearly it's not. So I work with people, all the people that say I can't, I show them that they can. And so it just really inspires everybody to get moving, and that the only thing the doctors say is it's got to be because of how in shape I am or how much muscle I have that I'm able to function the way that I do. So it's just really promoting that, and I'm able to accommodate anybody with any injuries, any surgeries, fibromyalgia and all of that. So there's not really, there's no excuses.
I'd imagine that the movement and the fitness and conditioning of boxing and kickboxing really overcomes a lot of challenges when it comes to the physical body and movement. So you mentioned, Victoria, that it's taken you years to build up a following. What do you feel is the challenge for people adopting this kind of workout or fitness regimen?
A lot of the videos, some of the things that my clients will post of classes, and some of it looks really extreme, and people look at it and they think, oh my gosh, I can't do that. But I have so many people of all shapes and sizes and age groups, from teenagers into their 60s, that, I think it took a long time just because the Midwest here, people just weren't used to that level of intensity. But now that it's going, it's really, a lot more people are gravitating and are willing to try it. Just in seeing and hearing my story and seeing that I was able to do it, that, not everybody's going to start at the same point, and that, I will gradually increase and kind of roll you into things.
Do you predominantly focus on the fitness aspect, or is there fighting, or is it intimidating like that?
No, there's no fighting. I do use tie bags, so I have, a room full of tie bags, so we do lots of punching and kicking on the bags, but then it's also kind of CrossFit-ish to where, we use Olympic weights and lots of body exercises, or lots of stretch conditioning. We just started Glide, which is socks. People wear like double pairs of socks, and that's a whole other type of conditioning. So I really focus on all the areas, with balance and flexibility, strength, coordination, and endurance.
Real quick, explain. I know about the Muay Thai bags; those are banana bags. But for the listeners who aren't familiar with what a Thai bag is, can you explain that real quick?
It's just like a heavy bag that you would see in a gym. The short ones, except it's very long. They're about 130 to 150 pounds. So it's just about a 6-foot bag to where you can punch and kick. You can just do a variety of things, and it's heavier, so it stays a little bit more stable. Right
on. So yeah, tell me, what do you think are the biggest challenges that people have when they first come in to see you and they're sort of interested? Are they intimidated? What are the most common questions that they ask?
I think the biggest issues that people have is their eating, their diet. They know that when they come to see me, they're going to lose weight and they're going to gain muscle and get more fit. But my boyfriend actually, about a year after we got together, got a rare form of cancer. And so in dealing with all of that, we've really changed his way of eating because the whole conventional method of chemotherapy and radiation and how toxic it is. I actually reprogrammed my entire training system, the eating portion, because I do a lot of team training, to go with the alkaline diet and to build your immune system. And in doing that, I've helped him to get stronger and healthier. And so we're getting ready to do a series about what he's going through and proving that, the doctor's methods aren't just the only method, that health and fitness, it has to be on the inside as well as the outside.
Wow. Victoria, you mentioned a little bit about your training in Las Vegas. What inspired you from the beginning to get into fitness and nutrition to begin with? How'd you get started?
Oh, I was an overweight kid all through, middle school or junior high school and high school. And I went to Vegas to stay with my dad for the summer when I was 16, and he wanted to get me in the gym, and so he did, and I started taking a step class with Frank Butterfield and just loved it, and they were like a family, and they all just kind of adopted me in, and so as soon as I was 18, I got certified and got to teaching, and a girlfriend of mine whose brothers were all boxers it was called Nevada Partners then. She took me there to train, and I just fell in love with the workout. It was just badass, and Roger was great, and he wanted me to go pro, but, boxers just didn't make a lot of money, not female boxers anyways, and I was a massage therapist, and I just wasn't going to risk my body and my hands to box professionally, but it's on a fitness level, there just wasn't anything like it. So I just kept on, I held on to that part of my life and took it with me.
Yeah, speaking of that, the fitness level of it, I think there's a lot of folks out there that don't understand it. I mean, they see the results. They see how fit boxers are and how shredded and absolutely in shape and cardio-wise and everything. What would you say to people that don't understand, have never experienced boxing, maybe intimidated? How would you explain this workout to them?
Well, it is a gradual workout. It does take a build-up of stamina. You have to learn the basics. You really have to start at the beginning and add on in order to really appreciate it and not get injured. Boxers, it's a long time. It's a very long and tedious process to become really good at their craft, but there's no other sport like them because they're just masters at it. So those that are boxers and they go into MMA, it's just a whole different beast. So they just, need to really jump in slowly, find a good trainer, find a good class, and learn the basics and build up. And they'll appreciate the results. It may not all be getting shredded if they don't have the eating component, because that's very important in boxers' world. But they will notice the strength and coordination and things that they never thought that they could do. They'll be able to do.
So what would you say is the one thing that somebody really must consider if they want to be successful in this type of a workout, in a boxing training workout?
Consistency. That would be the one thing. You just need to stick with it. And, with really most programs, people tend to want to give up if they don't see, the results within a week. So they really just need to remain consistent and dedicated and show up. That's 80% of it, show up.
Right on. So, Victoria, for our listeners out there that want to get more information, connect with you, find out more about your training systems, where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook at Victoria Boa Lynn, and I have a Boxing on Adrenaline page. My website page is being redesigned now to add in this cancer component and that journey. That'll be video blogged. So they can find me on Facebook.
Terrific. Victoria, I really appreciate you coming on the show and taking the time to share with me today. I wish you continued success for Boxing on Adrenaline training systems for you and for all of your clients. And this is a special segment on health, nutrition, and fitness. On this segment, my guest is Sumner Haye from Sumner Haye Fitness out of Dallas, Texas. Sumner, welcome to the program.
Hi, glad to be here.
Sumner, so tell us all about SumnerFitness.com and the types of clients that you help.
So Sumner Haye Fitness, the way I like to differentiate it between other fitness companies is I like to have a real encouraging segment in my training. So I have a big thing on encouragement towards people and holding them accountable. So I've had a lot of different types of clients. I've gone from weight loss to a client doing a physique competition. I've had clients doing strength gain. We've done rehab work on shoulders, backs, and knees. I've done a lot of different types of training.
Oh, right on. So what do you find when people come to find you for the first time? Are there any common challenges that you see them all having? Usually
confidence. They come to me because they're not sure how to work out or what to do next in their fitness journey. So they kind of are opening up about an insecurity that they have. So I'm always sure to be sensitive of that and find a way to help them best and show them best and guide them to achieving the goals that they want to achieve.
Ah, that's interesting. So what do you say causes that? Are these folks that have tried fitness on their own without working with a trainer, or what causes that?
A number of different things. For example, I have one of my recent clients. She started with me, and she had tried to do a lot of these different fad diets and lose weight quick tricks that just never really worked. And she wasn't sure what to do next. And she saw a picture of one of my clients who dropped a considerable amount of weight. She dropped about 16% of her body fat and was able to gain some muscle too. And she was encouraged by her and wanted to see how she did it. So I told her, by a simple weight routine and cardio and just someone there to hold you accountable, it can make all the difference. So for her reason that she was, feeling insecure about where she was because, her weight to start with, but also the fact that she had tried to do all these other different fad diets and quick workouts that it just never really worked for her.
In your experience, what do you find, what's the experience like working with you for the first time? Do you approach everybody differently, or what is that like? What do you take them through to discover what they need?
Well, I really like to give a free session, so that kind of takes away any stress between me and the other person, me trying to overperform and impress the person, and this other person having to commit to so much money to someone they don't know. So what I like to do is just run them through a simple base workout just to kind of see where they are, if there's any imbalances in the body, maybe a possible injury or just a compensation that they have, just to kind of see and get an idea of where they are so I can kind of gauge what they need to be doing throughout the week with a workout routine. And during those beginning sessions, we get to talk about what their life's like, what they do for work, if they're moving a lot, if they sit a lot, and then if they're able to keep the kitchen clean, if they're able to, keep their eating clean, and what they're having every day is going to be beneficial to helping them lose weight or gain muscle, whatever they're wanting to do. So it just kind of gives me an idea of the direction that they're headed right now and what we need to do to keep them going.
People probably see a lot of different workouts on TV nowadays, and there seems to be a new workout DVD set coming out every month. What's a workout session for you like? What does that look like?
It's pretty simple, to be honest. I like to stick with the basics because it's worked for so long for so many people. What I usually start with all my clients is a base lift. Now, a base lift is a bench press, a squat, a deadlift, or an overhead press. So after we work through one of those, then it's all supplementary work. So if you're with a client who wants to have really toned legs, a female, we go through a squat routine, and then we bounce off between workouts that are working her the fronts of her legs, her quads, and then workouts that are working the backs of her legs, her glutes and hamstrings. Then we just pair off back and forth and isolate any weaknesses that they have, or maybe they want to grow their glutes more, then we do more glute workouts. If they want to tone their quads more, we do an extra quad workout. But it's very simple. Always start with a base and then just have supplementary afterwards.
So that's a lot of strength training then. How do you feel? I mean, there's a lot of information out there also about cardio. How do you feel that cardio fits into the program?
Okay, that's a good question. So cardio, I like to do separate from my workout routines. And that's just because I've gone through weight loss myself. I've lost 22 pounds in 6 weeks. And wow. I like to give everybody the plan that I was on. And it was a simple, I run through my regular workout plan, but separately I go through cardio. And the cardio I'm the biggest fan of right now is aerobic cardio, which means you're between 60 and 80% of your max heart rate. It simply means it's a cardio that you're doing that's making you sweat, but you're still able to carry on a conversation as you're moving. Mm-hmm. If you can't, then you're moving too fast. So I got this by walking on a stair stepper 20 minutes every single day. I would do that in the morning in between training clients or in the evening right after my workout. But yes, I do cardio. That is very important, but I do it separately from my weighted routine.
So contrary to what a lot of people may think, it doesn't really take that much. You don't really have to knock yourself out to get the benefit of cardio in your workout.
No, from what I've seen, you really do not. And the reason I like to do aerobic cardio is it may seem like it's a slower process, but you don't lose any muscle. And whenever you're wanting to lose weight, you want to have as much muscle on you as possible because muscle burns calories. To lose weight, you have to burn more calories than you intake. So by doing aerobic cardio, you're keeping your muscle mass up while you're still burning a good amount of calories with that, and you're burning calories along with your weighted workout that you're doing either before or after that during the day.
Is there such thing as too much cardio where it starts to be detrimental and, like you said, you start losing muscle?
Yes, I would say if you are working really, I would say that if you're doing if you're doing too much anaerobic cardio, which is the next level from aerobic, it's between 80 and your max heart rate, 80% in your max heart rate, that can kind of burn you out and start to burn muscle. But I'll have to add, there's a lot of people that do things this way, and I think that's okay as well. One great thing about fitness is that there are so many different approaches. The best thing to do is to just find an approach that you're comfortable with and stick with it, and you're going to see change.
That's sage advice. So Sumner, what inspired you to get into fitness yourself? How'd you get started?
Okay, well, this started at about 11 years old. My older brothers used to always go to the gym and go work out. I have 6 brothers, and I wanted to be like them, typical younger brother. And so at 13 years old, I got my own gym membership. Before that, I just worked out at home with a little bench press, and I just learned the fundamentals and got to go through that. And at 15, I saw my brother compete in a strongman competition and fell in love with that, and I started competing in strongman. I'm actually now I won Texas Strongest Man over here in Dallas this year, and I'm super happy to have that. But I've been in the fitness world since I was about 11 years old, and I've always just been passionate about helping people. And my first job was a lifeguard. I got to have responsibility of helping people, and just being in the gym, it made it a lot of sense to get certified as a trainer just to help people out, because I saw a need. I saw a need for people to be encouraged and for people to be given something that works and have someone that cares about them. And so I've really just enjoyed being able to have that opportunity to be a part of someone's fitness journey and guide them through things that I've learned. It's a very self-rewarding job. It always feels great to see the smile on your client's face whenever you measure them and they're down weight or they're down. I like to measure people with circumference. And so if their circumference measurements are down, just to see how much they light up, it's one of those undescribable feelings that is kind of addicting. And I love it. I love being in a type of job where I can just help people and be there for them. And especially as a trainer, you get to kind of be someone that this person they get to open up about their whole life about. So you get to just be there to listen to them and give them the time that they need. So it's a great job. I love it.
Wow, congratulations on that accomplishment. So to wrap this up,
thank you,
Sumner, what's one thing that someone really must consider if they want to be successful with their fitness? What would you tell them?
I would say consistency. Whatever they need, they need to be able to commit to something. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. All that matters is that you start. And it's okay if you start small. If you want to start your consistency by doing a simple 20-minute cardio routine and work on cleaning up your diet, just until you have more time to give into doing weight training, that's fine. But the most important thing is that you're consistent.
Awesome. For our listeners out there that may be near your area or they want to seek you out, where should they go to find you, Sumner?
Well, right now I am training out of Extreme Iron Pro Gym, but I'm also doing online training for clients. And that's you can contact me through my website. It's just my full name, Sumner Haye, Haye, fitness.com.
Terrific. Sumner, it's been great having you on the program. Thanks for taking the time to share with us today, and I wish you continued success for you, SumnerHayeFitness.com, and for all of your clients.
Thank you so much.
And this is another special edition of our program on health, nutrition, and fitness. On this segment, my next guest is Michelle Shoemaker from Greenwood, Indiana. Michelle, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mark, for having me.
Michelle, just give the listeners a little snapshot of your business and the type of clients that you help.
Great. Would love to. First, I want to kind of tell you where I train at. I train out at the Gathering Place. It's part of the Community Church of Greenwood Strategic Sports Center as an outreach to engage the community through sports and fitness. And we give something to the people of the south side of Indianapolis instead of taking things from them. And where a lot of places are there to try and take from you, where at the Gathering Place we don't do that. And we believe that we offer a value that has a great price and great service. We have an amazing indoor-outdoor rec facility. And I know that many people that are hearing my voice today deal with like tightness, cramping, weakness over time or age, discomfort, pain, and because the body's not up to par where it used to be. And we as specialists at the Gathering Place deal with the root causes behind those things. Mm-hmm. So in essence, we bridge the gap between fitness professionals and rehab. We increase a muscle's firing capabilities, and we get people functioning and progress people back to the health that they want to be at to achieve their goals. So what I do is we train people, but when we bring them in to train, we start with a process. We start looking at the body. We assess the body through range of motion, and we look at range of motion limitations as an indicator that one or more of the muscles that cross an axis cannot contract efficiently. And when a muscle can't contract efficiently, it's not going to do a movement right. So we take people into a different aspect of training than just walking in and doing a chest press.
Okay, so who are these folks? What are they looking for? What are their biggest challenges in their fitness and in their health when they come to see you?
It ranges so much, Mark. We have people that come in and have issues with, like, you know how you tease people when they have the Tim Conway shuffle? They just don't walk right. Mm-hmm. And, and that's more like the senior citizens along those lines. And it's because they're not capable of walking right because they're afraid they're off balance and they're going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't utilize those muscles of the leg by walking normal, you actually lose that capability of using them correctly. So we actually bring people back to the beginning and get them working properly so that they can use those in the way that they need to.
I see. So what does that what does that look like? What does that process look like when they first come in and they have that challenge? Like, how do you get them started so they're off on the right track?
Oh, that could be a loaded question.
Yeah.
We start by doing isometrics,
mm-hmm.
Getting that muscle used to doing a specific movement, and then we progress them by micro-progression into weight, bigger movements, multi-chain movements, so there's several joints involved. But it just progressed them so that when they're doing certain things, so like in the Tim Conway shuffle, people aren't dorsiflexion. They're not bringing their toes up off the ground appropriately. So if you can't pull that foot up and you don't use that, how can you squat if you can't dorsiflex?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to be able to move that lower leg forward so that the foot stays flat on the ground,
mm-hmm.
and bring that knee bend to happen. Dorsiflexion has to happen. And if you don't have that, you can't do a squat appropriately. So we start by using the basics of each step of a squat and getting that working at the best level, and then we bring in the actual full squat motion.
I bet a lot of people aren't even aware of this information. They don't even know what they should be looking for, so a lot of education is needed on that. So what are the two or three most common questions that you get from your prospects when they come in? They must not even be aware of what you're mentioning. So what are they asking?
Most people, when they come in and they start training, is cost. How much is it going to cost? How quickly can I gain muscle, and what foods do I need to eat? Those are probably my biggest three questions. I don't know what to eat. I don't know how fast is this going to happen, and how much is it going to cost me?
Tell me about that a little bit. Tell me about the speed. How fast can someone get results if they haven't been working out like most of their life?
If they haven't been working out most of their life, it's based on how sensitive their body is to working out. Everybody is different. There is no two people the same when it comes to training. You can't put everybody on the chest press and expect a chest press to happen.
I see.
People have torn shoulders. People have different issues where they've hurt their back, their neck. Car accidents change how you can utilize the body. It just is, it's based on the per person. It can take from anywhere from 2 weeks to a couple of months before we get you, what do you want to call that, transferred over into an actual workout program. It just, where your body is going to depend on where you start.
And on the nutrition question that people ask you, how do you see where nutrition fits into this whole equation?
Well, when it comes to weight loss, which is one of the things that, you said it was about the fitness rush, and that is a big January goal, is everybody wants to lose weight. 80% of weight loss is actually found in the kitchen.
Mm.
People don't realize how poorly they're eating until you show them. And people are like, well, I eat healthy. I eat these weight loss meals from the grocery store, and where they're actually packed full of sodium and preservatives and really aren't considered real food, where if you eat real food, fresh fruits and vegetables from the produce section, and buying chicken breasts and actually cooking those, make a big difference than buying something prepackaged, ready to go. I actually walk people through the grocery store and show them how to put food ideas together and what to shop for.
I see. So, Michelle, I can tell you're really passionate about this whole subject. What inspired you to get into fitness and health? How'd you get started?
My health was actually at a very poor point. In my mid-30s, I was overweight. I was miserable. I didn't feel good. I was tired all the time. And then when I started exercising, I started doing the at-home videos. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I couldn't get out of bed. My back was hurt. Or I couldn't walk because something happened to my leg. And when I realized that there was more to this, and that was, I went to a class at the Gathering Place called Totally Fit Life, which is one of the programs they offer. The instructor there had just finished his MAT certification, which is muscle activation techniques. And when I got injured there, he says, just come to my office and work on me. Let me work on you. And I'm like, what are you going to do for me? I'm done, because I had torn my quad. And he goes, just trust me, just come to my office. And so my husband actually carried me in to his office, and I actually walked out.
Wow.
That was mind-blowing for me. I couldn't even set weight on my leg, and to be able to gingerly walk out of his office was mind-blowing. And then 3 days later, a situation happened, and I ended up having to run because of a trauma that was happening at the road behind our house. And I actually ran for the road, realizing that I was running, and it was only like 3 days after the situation had happened. So it was very surprising to be able to run knowing I had torn my quad 3 days earlier.
Oh, wow.
It was, I was floored. And so at that point in time, I also found out that I had thyroid issues, and I had a lot of candida, overgrowth, and so we started addressing those, and I realized that there was way more to this, and the more I dug, the more I wanted to learn, and at that point it was like, I want to go into this. I need to help people. People don't know this.
Mm-hmm. That's terrific. That's really an inspiring story. I could see why that really inspired you to really focus on your health and fitness. So to kind of tie this all together, Michelle, what's one thing that you would tell somebody that they should really consider if they want to be successful and get on the right track with their fitness? What advice would you give them?
I would definitely tell them to get with a trainer that is RTS and MAT certified, but also to go to someone like a nurse practitioner that is nutrition-based. And that's where I started, really seeing results with my nutrition. And I go to Karen Marshall up on the north side, and she's really opened my eyes to what you can do. And she gave me the word HOPE, and that is H is for high fiber, O is for omega-3s, P is for probiotics, and the E is for enzymes. And you can put hope back in nutrition by doing those things.
Oh, it's a great acronym. That's a writer-downer.
It is.
So, Michelle,
it is.
For our listeners out there who'd love to connect with you and learn more, if they're in their area, if they want to train with you, where should we send them? How do they find you?
Well, they can contact the Gathering Place. Their number is 317-884-0531. 317-884-0531. So www.thegponline.org. And then my number is 317-985-0607.
All right, that's terrific.
And my web...
You have a website? Yeah, do you have a website to give out?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, thehithoney.com. THEHIITHONEY.com.
All right, terrific. Michelle, thank you so much for taking the time and joining me on the program today. I wish you continued success for you and all of your clients.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
On another special edition of the program for health, nutrition, and fitness. On this segment, my next guest is Juliano Caprara out of Schenectady, New York. Juliano, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
For the listeners out there, tell us a little bit about your work and the type of people that you help.
Sure. Fitness for me kind of started off as, I guess in my teens I wanted to put on some size. Kind of just, I don't know, I was just really a skinny kid growing up, and that's kind of all fitness was for me. And I met a more of a mentor figure in my life who kind of took me under his wing, and he taught me a lot about, I guess, the greater details of fitness. Whereas nutrition, posture, flexibility, preventative therapy, all that stuff kind of came into the mix, and I realized that there was a lot more to fitness than just lifting weights and actually enhancing the quality of someone's life. So, that's kind of the road I went down. I went to Orlando, Florida, got a bunch of certifications, all college accredited, and, from there, I've been a personal trainer now for 5 years, and also, in the middle of doing that, became a natural competitive bodybuilder, and I have my pro card and the NMA, Natural Muscle Association for bodybuilding. As far as clients that I work with, it's mostly, I guess my favorite client is, the person who's just trying to enhance their general health. I work with athletes. I work with people who want to compete in like bodybuilding or men's physique shows. But, I'd say the bulk of my clientele is, people who want to enhance their quality of life, maybe lose weight, increase their posture, or enhance their posture, and kind of things associated with that.
For those type of clients, the bulk of your clients, what do you say is the number one reason why they come to you and want to work with a personal trainer?
Yeah, I think a lot of them kind of feel on their own. I mean, I think a lot of look, there's tons of exercise tapes out there, and some of them are actually really good, but it can be very overwhelming. Fitness is, you'd say it's like, you eat healthy and exercise and you're set. But, unfortunately, it's a lot more in-depth than that. And, a lot of people just want to get right down to business and not have to kind of guess at what they're going to do. They just want a solid outline plan and want to be able to kind of go down that path and basically ensure the results.
Yeah, you mentioned that there's a lot of different, it seems like every week there's a new workout coming out or a different DVD program coming out. What do you think about that? Is there a lot of misinformation out there or confusion into what people should be doing?
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, for some people, some of those videos are great. I've seen a lot of them. Growing up, my mom was always into fitness, and she owned every single fitness video, and kind of growing up, I would look at those, try to do some of those, and I've seen a lot of what's out today. And unfortunately, when it comes to fitness, there's not a one size fits all, and that's what most of these videos are all about. And another unfortunate part of it is that they don't take the time to help tailor a proper nutritional plan, which is 80% of your results. And they also don't focus on important things like posture, your spinal alignment, and flexibility. You can think that you're fit in that that you've completed this DVD, but at the end of it, you could have terrible posture, which down the road can even something as simple as that can decrease your lifespan. So it's a lot of important things that I think are missed most of the time.
I know, as you mentioned, that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but how do you view the mix of everything from strength training to cardio? What do you like to incorporate in your workouts for your clients?
Yeah, you know what? The thing is, a lot of people ask me, is it better to do, cardio workouts to lose weight, or what about weightlifting, or what about high reps, light weight, or low reps, heavy weight? But the truth is that you need them all, because each one of them touches on a different aspect of your fitness, and it's all very important. I'd say that the most important, however, is resistance training, using different rep ranges throughout the week from about 6 to 12. You can go lower than that or higher, but that's kind of your general rep range. The nice thing about resistance training is it kind of captures the three most important elements I'd say, a human being's quality of life. Whereas, you have from resistance training, you have increasing your bone health. That's obviously that's very, very important as we get older. Another huge thing is that resistance training promotes and increases your body's natural hormone production. Mm-hmm. Now, for men, that's testosterone, growth hormone. For women, mainly growth hormone through exercise. But these things totally they keep you young. I guess that's the best thing I can say. Mm-hmm. And then another really cool thing that another huge benefit to resistance training is that it stimulates your muscle tissue more than something like cardio would, and that stimulation of the muscle tissue, since it's the most metabolic tissue in your body, it's going to have the greatest impact on your overall metabolism than cardio would. But with that being said, there's also you can't ignore the aerobic aspect of things. But mm-hmm. That's where I incorporate a lot of circuit training with my clients, a lot of supersets, where they'll train one muscle group and then, work the opposite muscle group back to back and then rest. So you mm-hmm. can kind of build up that aerobic feel while doing anaerobic resistance training.
I see. Yeah, so it sounds like it's good to have a healthy mix of both, but you can get results even in weight loss with just the strength training alone. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, honestly, like I mentioned before, the majority of your results, the majority of people either want to gain weight or lose weight. Some people come in, they're skinny and a little insecure and want to put on some size, or just the opposite. The majority of people come into the gym to lose weight. I mean, that's the most common client right there. Mm-hmm. And although you do need to exercise and resistance training is key, 80% of your results are definitely based off of how many calories you take in per day, and where those and somewhat from where those calories come from.
So, Juliano, you mentioned a little bit of your story of how you got started. Tell us more. What inspired you to get into fitness and health to begin with, and how'd you get started?
Yeah, so I was working at in high school, I was working at this Italian cafe, Villa Italia, in downtown Schenectady. And we had this new dishwasher come in, and he was this really just... this guy's his name is Sean Banks. He had this incredible physique. He's from Brooklyn. And I remember saying to one of my coworkers, man, I would love to look like that guy, or be as fit as he is. And, I didn't think she would, but she actually went and told him. And then he came and, came out from out back, and he's like, hey, today you're going to go train with me. I was like, are you kidding me? So he,
that must have been intimidating.
Went to a local park. Oh, yes, it was very. I didn't even know the guy, and I was like, I guess I'm training with him today. We went to a local park and performed all calisthenic bodyweight exercises for an hour, and then, from that day, from the intensity, it was very exhilarating. It was kind of like an exhaustion, a soreness I've never felt in my life, and it immediately, I was intrigued, and then it turned into an almost daily thing where, it became pretty much 5 or 6 days a week, for almost 2 years. And within the first month, I noticed, I was breathing better. My clothing fit differently. I felt incredible, compared to the lifestyle I was living. And from that point on, I didn't realize how powerful, exercise and a good nutritional program can be. And I saw the way it continued to change and impact my life. And, from that point on, I decided, if I could experience this, if I can do it, then, and I can, see all of these benefits and experiences myself, other people are really missing out and they have no idea. And I want to help. I want to do what Sean did for me. I want to do for someone else. And, I've been fortunate enough to, be able to do that.
Excellent. So to wrap this up, is there something that you learned about fitness early on that still impacts the way you train and help people today?
Yeah, definitely. I think the most important thing when it comes to I guess your overall fitness and I guess really changing your physique in your your lifestyle is you gotta be accepting of everything, but most importantly, you really have to start with the nutrition first. The nutrition is absolutely key. A lot of people neglect that and want to do that part last. Get the put in the time in the gym first and neglect the nutritional portion, and then they become discouraged when they don't notice any change. When you start off with those nutritional changes, I mean, sky's the limit. You can accomplish whatever you want. And when you start actually seeing the results on a regular basis without having to deal with any sort of plateau or whatnot, that's going to be the game changer. That's going to keep someone engaged for their life, and not some sort of seasonal person who only attends during the new year or something like that. That's very important.
I can imagine it must be hard to build a better body fueled by Cheetos. So that's sage advice. So, Juliano, what for our listeners out there who may be nearby you, want to connect with you, learn more, even train with you, how can they find you? Where should they go, and how do they reach you?
Sure. I mean, right now I train out of Sport Time Schenectady, but best way to get in contact with me is my kind of overall email, and that's juliano.caprara@yahoo.com.
Terrific. Juliano, thank you so much for taking the time and joining me on the program today, sharing with our listeners.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it, and I wish you continued success for you and all of your clients.
Thank you very much.
That wraps up another episode of our Health, Nutrition, and Fitness Special Edition. If you know a remarkable expert, business, person, place, or thing that we should feature on the show, drop me a line on my email, radioguest@markimperial.com. That's radioguest@markimperial.com. Until next time, I'm Mark Imperial. Take care and make it a remarkable week.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.